you guys continued giving CPR until the EMTs took over?
Yes.
How does it make you feel to watch this, ma'am?
Sick.
And contrary to the way you testified previously, there's no one doing CPR, is there?
No.
All right. Man, was there something funny that was happening at 6:30:41 on February 27th, 2014 in the middle of
I have no
this attempt
clue,
to resuscitate Mr. Dempsey?
I have no clue. I can't even remember all that.
Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again, hit you with a video. Now this video right here is about a World War II veteran who happens to be in a nursing home, and he's pretty much on his last leg. And this video is in no way intended to be a joke. It's a very serious matter. And before I even start, big shout out to all the veterans and all the people that's active right now in the U.S. Armed Forces, whether it be the Marines, Army, Navy, or whatever have you, Delta Force, anything. If you have any kind of family or you yourself is a member of the military, big shout out to you all, and I thank you all for all your contributions and everything that you have did for this country. But what sickens me the most, because my dad was a veteran. My dad retired from the Air Force, and I can't forget about the Air Force also, in the Navy. My dad retired from the Air Force after 29 years, and when I was watching this video, even though my dad wasn't near about that old, I still picture my dad, you know, if he was in that situation, how would I feel, you know? And maybe that comes with being an empath or whatever have you, but I just have a heart when it comes to people, especially people who done made remarkable contributions to this world and to society, and has been an asset to everyone instead of a burden. So you have to lift those peoples up. But the shocking thing about this video is not the fact that he's in a old folks home, because we all might get there if our loved ones or whoever don't want to take care of us in our older age, or if they cannot do it, if they have their own lives or whatnot. So it's not the point about him being in an old folks home. It's the point of how he got treated while he was there. So I'm going to read a snippet from this story, and I will give my opinion as we go. A hid camera tells true story of how a veteran died after calling for help, gasping for air. The video shows the decorated World War II veteran, old man, calling for help 6 times before he goes unconscious while gasping for air. Now, don't you know how horrible they got to be, like basically suffocating to death? You know, when you trying to breathe and you can't breathe. Do you know how terrified a person must be from somebody young to somebody old? You know, that's a terrifying thing. And for anybody who ever got the wind knocked out of them, you know, it does feel like you're about to die, even if you don't die. But it's just so unfortunate in this situation that this guy went ahead and passed, because the ladies, the nurses that was sanctioned and pretty much their job to take care of him, failed him. And on top of that, they laughed about it. That's the sad thing about it. It's not the point of them there while he's dying. You know, they're going to be there. But the point, what you did while he was dying and how you reacted to the situation. Now, an 11 Alive investigation uncovered hit camera video catching nursing home staff laughing while an elderly patient dies in front of them. The incident happened at the Northeast Atlanta Health and Rehabilitation in 2014, but the video was recently released as part of a lawsuit filed by the family. And this is what I don't get. It's amazing how platforms such as WorldStar and all these other platforms, your Twitters, your G+, your Facebook, shows all this other stuff going on, where it's from strippers, from people robbing banks, whether it's men and women fighting, but you don't show what's really important and stuff like this, because as sure as you live, you're surely going to get old one day. So remember that if you want to think this a joke, or if this don't pertain to you. Matter of fact, you don't even have to be a veteran. If you live long enough, one day you will get old, just like my grandmother said. So put yourself in that man's shoes for a second. Now, attorneys representing the Atlanta nursing home tried to prevent 11 Alive from obtaining the video. They asked a DeKalb County judge to keep the video sealed, and then attempted to appeal to the Georgia State Supreme Court. Why would they go through all this trouble trying to hide just a video? It must be some incriminating evidence on that video, if you will. Now, the judge ruled in favor of 11 Alive in the nursing home, eventually dropping dropped its appeal to the state's highest court. You got to have the freedom of the press. You know, the people got to know the truth, even though a lot of people don't use these platforms in such a way as they should. They just want to talk about celebrities all the time. They want to just talk about BS all the time instead of being balanced and talking about everything, you know. Now, the video includes almost 6 hours of video court deposition from a nursing home supervisor explaining how she responded to the patient before she knew the hidden camera video existed. Now, this is a supervisor at the nursing home, so basically someone who's going around monitoring the other people. You all know what supervisor mean. Now, if the head is not right, guess what? The body is not right, and the body would not follow. You know, and it's no telling what's all been going on in this rehabilitation center in Atlanta. And if you have people there, I advise you to check on them, because I do have a lot of viewers that's from Georgia, from the Atlanta area to be exact. Now, the video shows a completely different response because the supervisor of the home lied until she was confronted with this evidence. The deceased patient is 89-year-old James Dempsey, a decorated World War II veteran from Woodstock, Georgia. In the video deposition, former nursing supervisor Wanda Knuckles tells the family's attorneys, Mike Preto, how she rushed to Dempsey's room when a nurse alerted her and he stopped breathing. Now, this is their conversation going back to back with Preto and Dempsey. Now, Preto says, from the time you came in, you took over doing chest compressions, correct? Knuckles, the woman, the supervisor, says yes. Preto, until the paramedics arrived, you were giving CPR continuously. Knuckles, yes. The video, however, shows no one doing CPR when Knuckles entered the room. She also did not immediately start doing CPR, basically just standing her ass right there looking at this man dying. Sir, that was an honest mistake, said Knuckles in the deposition. I was just basing everything on what I normally do. How can you base that? That's just like if you driving a car and the police pull you over and you tell them you wasn't speeding, but you were speeding last week. No, we're not talking about what you did last week or whoever you did with anybody else. We talking about this moment right now, this moment. But anyway, so she basically was calling a lie, and she's trying to come clean because they have her ass on camera, and the camera don't lie. The audio, you can pretty much twist or whatever, but when you have that camera footage and the audio with it, oh, you can sit your ass down somewhere. They're gonna get you. Now, the video shows the veteran calling for help 6 times before he goes unconscious while gasping for air. State records show nursing home staff Dempsey unresponsive at 5:28 a.m. It took almost an hour for staff to call 911 at 6:25 a.m. So they waited a whole hour instead of calling right at that moment when this man was on his deathbed and did not do anything to try to help revive him or help him breathe or anything. No CPR, no chest compressions or anything. Basically, sitting here allowing this man just to die right before their eyes. And then the sad thing about it, sit there and laugh about it and then lie about it. Now, you can't tell me don't get no more lowdown than that. So be careful where you take your family members to, because you thinking that these people, just because they smile, and you know, I try to see the good in people, but let me tell you something, no matter how much you try to see anything, the truth is the truth. And I'm sure if Mr. Dempsey family was psychics or whatnot, they would not have placed that man inside of those people's care, because I guarantee you this, true enough, he was an old guy, but who's to say if he wasn't going to live another year or two, or maybe 3 to 5, maybe to be 100? Who's to say that? You know, you can't put no time limit on nobody's life, because how would you feel if somebody put a time limit on your life? Let's continue. Now, remember, they pronounced him unresponsive at 5:28. They did not call 911 to 6:25 a.m. 57 minutes later. So you let 57 minutes go by. What, you trying to make sure he dead? That's kind of strange right there. This is a very eye opener for also people that goes to these hospitals when they're well, some of them just have a cold and come out dead. We all know people like that went in there with chest pains. Next thing you know, they cut their leg off. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful, because everybody don't have your best interest at heart. Now, when a different nurse does respond, she fails to check any of his vital signs. Now, what nurse does that? If you've been doing something for 30, 40 years, it becomes a what? A routine. Okay, so if you have a routine, you subconsciously do this automatically, just like waking up, going to use the bathroom. You don't have to sit down and think, do I have to put down my panties or my underwear? You're not going to use it on yourself. So everything becomes a routine, a form of habit. That was just an example, even though a lot of you are probably smiling on that one. But it's just an example, because if you've been doing something for long enough, trust me, you do it without thinking about it, like second nature. Now, Knuckles says she would have reprimanded the nurse for the way she responded to Dempsey. She called the video sick. When nurses had difficulty getting Dempsey oxygen machine operating properly during the encounter, you can hear Knuckles and other members laughing at this man while he's sitting up there pleading with them. And the audio doesn't lie. So here goes the exchange with Preto and Knuckles. Preto, man, was there something funny that was happening? Knuckles, I can't even remember all that, as you can see. How you don't remember that, but you remember what day you get paid. You remember your son's birthday. You remember if you're still married or not, your anniversary. You remember where you live. So you mean tell me you don't remember that right there? Something so detrimental, something that can affect your future and get you fired, something that would affect your livelihood. Trust me, you would backlog it. You would make a memory of that also. So, you know, people, it's funny how people got all kinds of excuses when it comes to the truth. And when they get their ass caught, they'll make up any damn thing. But the truth is the truth. Now, 11 Alive showed the video to Elaine Harris, a retired nursing professor and expert in adult critical care. In 43 years in nursing, I have never seen such disregard for human life in a healthcare setting, is what I witnessed, said Harris. Harris says she identified several violations of care in the video, including failure to respond, failure to access, and failure to act, which means you see the problem. You respond right then and there. You do not question nothing. You don't stand around and talk, because every second count. Every second count. Now, in the video, nursing staff repeatedly start and stop doing CPR on Dempsey. Harris says once you start doing CPR, it should not be stopped until a doctor makes the decision not to resuscitate, which is true. And for anybody who plays sports, you done got passed out, or you done seen people go through all kinds of cardiac arrest or whatnot. You do not stop doing it until some kind of medical professional tells you, you know, that's it. We can't save them. Or you know, this is what we need to do. It just don't make no sense. Now, that is absolutely inappropriate. You never stop compressions, said Harris, because it just might be a chance they might come back. We have seen it on TV. We have seen it on shows. We have seen it on these ER shows that come on Lifetime, all these other networks or whatnot. So you don't stop doing that, because to do that is to give up on the person themselves. And it's just like, you know, pushing them over a bridge. They gone because they're dependent on you to resuscitate them, to revive them. Dempsey's family declined to be interviewed due to a settlement agreement recently reached with the nursing home. The nursing home operators owned by Sava Senior Care declined interview requests. In a prepared statement, a spokesperson wrote they were saddened by the events which occurred more than 3 years ago. The letter also notes it has new leadership, and the leadership team and the staff have worked very diligently to improve quality care and the quality of life for our residents. Now, let's go back to someone that says we are saddened by the events which occurred more than 3 years ago. I don't give a damn if it occurred 30 years ago, 10 years ago. A person lost their life, and their life is gone forever. So the hell with it being 3 years ago, the scar is still there. Just like you lost somebody years ago, guess what? That scar is still there right there also. So forget how long ago it's been. This how long it took for it to come to light, because it would have never came to light if the family and Channel 11 Alive news station, and big shout out to them, didn't press these people for the truth. And see, this is how you use the media to your advantage when you have situations like this going on. And you don't stop. Be very persistent. That's what you got to do to get the truth and get justice for your loved one, because truthfully, if that was you, if the shoe was on the other foot, you would want somebody to do it for you. Now, the facility recently was deficiency free during our recent annual inspection conducted by the Georgia Department of Health on May the 5th, 25th, excuse me. The nursing facility was made aware of the video in November 2015, but according to state inspection reports, the nursing home did not fire the nurses until 10 months later. So they thought it was all good, like they just done got away with just letting this man practically die. Now, according to the Georgia Board of Nursing, Knuckles and another nurse seen in the video surrendered their license in September, which they should have, because you're not even qualified to be a nurse. Maybe you was good 10, 20 years ago or whatnot, but you're not no use to nobody right now, because you sat right there and laughed while a man was dying, and didn't respond in any kind of way to trying to save his life. No resuscitation, no CPRs, no chest compressions, no nothing. So you don't even need no damn license, you know. Now, about 3 years after the incident, Nursing Board President Janice Islar says she cannot confirm when the state knew about the video. That's a question. But the board's action came shortly after 11 Alive sent her and other board staff a link to the video to view it. Now, on average, it currently takes the nursing board 427 days to fully investigate a nursing complaint. Islar says that's an improvement from about 2,000 days. So if you let 2,000 days go by and you have complaints, now imagine how many years that is. What, 5.5, close to 6 years or something right there. So all those years go by before you even review a complaint. Why? Because you thinking people that forget about it. That's sad right there. But anyway, it says a few more things. I'm gonna leave the link to the website, to the video up for you all, because it has a short video I'm gonna try to upload, and also has a long video. But tell me what you all think about this sad situation right here, because nobody, whether he was a veteran or not, just have respect and compassion for human life, deserve this right here. When you put yourself in somebody else, when you trust yourself to be in somebody else's care, in especially in your elderly age. It's not like you young like me, you can get around, you know. And even then, if I fall and get ill, I'm still gonna need help. I'll be just as helpless as a newborn baby or this old man. Now, how would you feel, and how would your family feel also, before anybody start talking about, well, all this crazy stuff? We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. Like I said, I wouldn't care if the guy was Chinese. I wouldn't care if he was black, white, Puerto Rican, whatever. It don't matter. Human life is human life to me. I see no color when it comes to that. But the reason why I made this video, because it's sad that we entrust these people to watch over our loved ones, especially in their golden years, their elderly age. You don't want nobody to suffer like that. All this man have been through, he done survived World War II. He done survived all this stuff, and just to wind up in a nursing home and watch these two witches let him die. Now that's sad, to survive all that in your life. Then you come to this point and you got these evil ass women, which they are, because that's why they laugh. Evilness. You know, notice when people do evil shit, they laugh. And just make it through all that through his life, then get to that point and die. Let me know what you all think. You like the video, push that like button. If you like, subscribe. Make sure you share this video with anybody else ever been in the service or currently in the service. And just show it to them, you know, and make sure they share, because we have to respect our elders and also our veterans, people who laid down a path and then laid a way for us. Trust me. Anyway, y'all stay blessed. I'm out.